Hello and welcome. We are going to the Castle of Ordeals this time. Castle of Ordeals, normally you're supposed to do it maybe after the volcano and or the ice cave because it happens narratively just before class change. And we'll get the item we need for class change. We can't do it just yet. I'm doing this one because there's a couple of important pieces of treasure here that I can grab. And even though I'm a little bit under-leveled to handle the monsters, it's a rather short dungeon if you know the route through it. And I do know the route through it. Alright, so I just need a little bit of luck to avoid some bad battles. Here, this battle is with the Zombull, or the Minotaur zombie. And it's lucky that we rolled this battle because it is susceptible to the Harm spell. Harm 2, a couple of Harm 2s knock it out. Also, the final quote-unquote boss, it's really just a spiked square at the end of this dungeon, is also undead. So we can take it out pretty easily if we avoid some of the instant kill fights. Now, this is not my first attempt at this dungeon. I did fight a couple of unsuccessful battles earlier with groups of man-cats or cat-mans. I can't remember which they are. They're the green ones. They're Rakshasas in this translation, which is, again, a little bit more accurate. The cat people, they can cast fire too, which is all targeting. Now, these guys, the Horned Devils or the Red Goyles, can also be nasty. I got lucky that I got a preemptive attack there. The preemptive attack, if you roll one, you can always escape on the very first action no matter what. Those are automatic escapes if you try for them. Now, there is a spiked square with battles with nightmare horses. They're like mad ponies, but they're souped up. It's a spiked square, but thankfully, this battle is runnable. And even though I got the back attack on this one, I can get away from this battle. So that's lucky that I can do that, get away from that, heal up from that. I would be healing up quite a bit with this. But again, this is not my first attempt at this. I did get knocked out a couple of times. I do avoid some nasty things up on this top floor. There are some instant kill sorcerers up here that can do some bad things. This battle with the mummies and the wizard mummies, it's King Mummy in this translation. I'll be using the healing staff for the first time here with the white character. Now, we do have some menuing errors on my part coming up, and unfortunately, the spell distribution was also an error on my part that I didn't notice until it was too late. I did not get a Harm spell on all 4 mages. I have Harm and Harm 2 for a couple of them, but one of them, white there at the top, missed getting a Harm spell. That was unintentional, but once you fill up your spell charges at each level, you cannot go back on it and cannot change what they are. So, unfortunately, you're stuck with that. So he'll be using the heal staff, which it casts heal for free every single turn if you want to, over and over and over again. And I'll be using it quite a bit. Now I can avoid that spiked square on the way back, because if you do touch that again, it is another trapped battle. We have some nice pieces of treasure up here. The ruby bracelet is a nice boost to the absorb. And I'll put it in the front row because I mentioned this before. The character in the front row, when you have a direct attack that targets one character, the enemies make a check, and 50% of the time they will hit the first row character. 25% of the time they will hit the character in the second row, and then 1/8 of the time, so 12.5% each for the third and fourth. So they have a 1 in 2 chance of the front row, 1 in 4 chance of the second row, and then 1 in 8 of the next couple of rows. Now the gauntlets there, that's called the Zeus Gauntlet in the old translation, and that will cast Lit 2, Lightning 2, or Bolt 2, or Thundara when used in battle, and that will cast it infinitely. Now, it's not quite as powerful in this version as if I used it with a Black Mage because they put in a fix on the intelligence bug, where your intelligence score is added to your chance to double. Now, here we're going to grab the final treasure as soon as we're done with this quote-unquote boss battle. This is a spike square with 1 or 2 zombie dragons. I think it's only 1 or 2. I did not check to confirm that. So you can see the mages who have Diara, which is the Harm 2 spell, are casting it. Now, I did make an error in menuing also, because I should have had the Zeus Gauntlet on the character who did not have access to the Harm spell. But this battle really is such a non-threat as long as your characters do have access to that Harm 2 spell that I did not bother to carefully think about my equipment distribution. Now, I will, after this battle with the zombie dragons, I will fight another one because I have some extra Harm 2 spells, and it's a very, very lucrative battle, both in terms of experience and gold. So I'll be doing actually just a tiny bit of grinding here for this one. As you can see, Harm 2 really does a lot of damage, and over 1,100 experience for the battle with 2 of them, and that gets leveled ups for 3 of the 4 characters. Now again, I should have taken the time. There's the Rat's Tail. That's what will allow us to class change, but we cannot do that yet until we have the airship, which we will get after we beat the Ice Cave. Now, when I healed here, I should have moved the Zeus Gauntlet over to the character in the front row who does not have the Harm spell, or at least to the character in the third row who originally had it, because we are out of Harm 2 spells for that third character. So you see me make a few errors here in menuing and realizing too late that I don't have enough DRS spells, so I have nothing, no more spell charges in that third level there. And that character doesn't even have the Harm spell. So that character has nothing to do this round. So unfortunately, I have a couple characters wasting their attacks just with hammer swings. So I could have maybe fought another battle with these dragons if I had thought better about it. Now, the Lightning 2 spell won't do a ton of damage to the zombie dragon, but it will certainly do more than just these simple hammer blows. So from now on, from this point in the game, most of my offense is going to be from that Zeus Gauntlet. I may have said the Thor Hammer. That's another item we'll pick up later. Most of my offense will be from the Zeus Gauntlet, and a lot of my healing will come from that Heal Staff, because they're just sources of free damage that I can get infinitely. So we're beating that second dragon. We are set to go. This gets the level up for the last one. Now, level 12 is a critical level for this group because it gets me, finally, a level 5 spell charge. So I have access now to the life spell. It's called Raise in this one, so I will have access to that going forward for now. So that's the end of the Castle of Ordeals. Once you make it through to that throne at the end, you warp out and you're finished. So this one, there isn't really a boss, but the castle itself is rather a boss, and it does require a few re-rolls. But I would recommend for anyone playing this game to try this Castle of Ordeals early, because you get some really nice treasure that will allow you to do some things later on, and these treasures will let us navigate much more safely through the upcoming dungeons, the Grugu Volcano and the Ice Cave coming up soon. So there will be videos of both of those, possibly not the whole dungeons, especially the volcano, which will have to be done in several stages, but at least those boss battles will be recorded and commentated here on my YouTube channel. Get in touch with me on Twitter, active_ATE. Do like this video, share it, comment on it, let me know what you think about this series of videos, and look for the write-ups on Skirmish Frogs coming soon.